Hi dear students, welcome to my class. This is for 10th students and the chapter is the metals and non-metals. In the last class or in the previous videos we were discussed about the chemical properties of metals. In that metals reacts with air, so it produces metal oxides, and these metal oxides may be amphoteric oxides, and these metals reacts with water, and metals reacts with acids, and metals reacts with other metal salt solutions. This is all we study in the last videos. So in this class I am going to discussing about the how to remember the reactivity series. How to remember the reactivity series. Can you tell what is meant by reactivity series? So reactivity series is a list of metals arranged in a decreasing order of their reactivity. This is what a reactivity series. So we have a one trick. I am going to give a trick for this. Remember reactivity series. So after that reactivity trick, we have to discuss the some in text questions in your textbook. Okay. So let's start the trick to remember the reactivity series. So we have metals, that is this is potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, this is silver and gold. Okay, for this remembering we have a sentence. So in this sentence we have a trick. So if you remember this sentence, this will be easy to remember the reactivity series. Okay, the sentence is like that: please stop calling me as zebra. So please stop calling me as zebra. I like her. I like her. Call I smart goat. So if here I am going please, here please remember this potassium. Please means potassium. Stop means sodium. Calling means calcium. Me means magnesium. As means aluminium. Zebra represents this zinc. I represents iron. Like represents lead. And her represents hydrogen. Kal represents copper. High represents mercury. Smart represents silver. And gold represents here gold. So this is the sentence. If you remember this sentence, the reactivity series is easy. This is very important one. So that's why I am giving a trick to remember this. So once again, please stop calling me as zebra. Please stop calling me as zebra. I like her. Call her smart goat. So this is the trick. So after this trick, I am going to discussing about the some in text questions. So please open the textbook. The page number is 46. Page number 46. We have a questions. Total we have 5 questions. So in that first question, why is sodium kept immersed in kerosene oil? So we know that sodium and potassium, see, sodium and potassium are high reactive elements, are more reactive elements. When this are kept open in this, that means this sodium and potassium reacts with air also. It can catches the fire. Why? Because of prevention of fire catches and accidental fire accidents. So we have to immerse it in kerosene oil. See the answer. Potassium sodium react so vigorously that they catch fire if kept in open. That means the sodium and potassium reacts vigorously or violently. They catch fire when if kept in open. When reacts with air, it catches the fire. Hence, to protect them and to prevent the accidental fires, we kept that metals kept immersed in kerosene oil. This is the answer for first question. Okay. Next, second question. Write equations for the reactions in that second question 1 and 2. Iron with steam. Iron with steam. Amma here steam and liquid water and ice. Both the all for this chemical formula is same, that is H2O. Okay. So when iron is a metal, right? When metals reacts with water or steam, it produces metal oxides and hydrogens that we study in metals reacts with water. The one, this is the one of the chemical property of the metals, right now. So when metals reacts with this water, it produces metal oxides and hydrogen gas, right now. So iron formula is Fe. This reacts with steam, so that's why iron, it is in solid state, right now. So H2O, that is in gaseous states. Why? Because steam is in gaseous states, which produces metal oxide, that is iron oxide and hydrogen gas. This hydrogen is in a gaseous state. Right now, so this is the equation. 3Fe plus 4H2O give rise to Fe3O4 plus 4H2. This is the equation when iron reacts with steam. Okay, in that second, Ca, this is the symbol of calcium. Calcium and potassium with water. What happens when calcium and potassium reacts with water? So first I am going to discussing about the calcium. So here calcium is a metal, right? When this calcium reacts with water, this is a exothermic reaction. What is meant by exothermic? In this particular reaction, heat is liberated. But one more important thing, but heat evolved is not sufficient. The heat is not sufficient for the hydrogen to catch the fire. So if hydrogen catches the fire, we need a more amount of heat. But in this reaction, when calcium reacts with water, it produces calcium hydroxide. But this hydrogen gas, but energy is not sufficient. Why? Because it catches the fire. That's why less amount of energy. Less energy. Okay, the equation is like that. Calcium, Ca is the symbol of calcium. It is in solid state. When reacts with the water, see, it is in liquid state. Here water is gaseous state. Here water is in liquid state. When calcium reacts with water, it produces calcium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So calcium in solid state, water is in liquid state, calcium hydroxide aqueous state, and hydrogen is gaseous state. So one more thing, here calcium starts floating. This calcium, when you add the calcium into water, this calcium starts floating. Why? Because in this hydrogen gas is attached. See, calcium starts floating because the bubbles of hydrogen gas. In this hydrogen gas formed a stick to the surface of the metal. That means like this, if you consider this is a metal, the hydrogen bubbles are stick on to the surface of the metals. This is region, this metal floating on a water. Next, when this potassium, when potassium reacts with water, see ma, here water is in liquid state, potassium is in solid state, potassium, right now. So when potassium reacts with water, it produces potassium oxide, see, KOH, potassium hydroxide. This is hydrogen gas releases high amount of energy and it can catches the fire immediately. This is also exothermic and catches the fire immediately. Okay. Next, in this question we have a third question. Samples of 4 metals A, B, C, D. What ma? A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Questions, ABCD metals were taken and added to the following solution one by one. The results obtained have been tabulated as follows. Here we have a tabulations. So I am going to write a tabulation. You have to write in your notes. This is all. I will not give a question to all these questions. You have to see and write the answers. Okay. Okay, now we have a table. In this table, we observe the metals. In that metals of A, B, C, D. I am taking A, B, C, D metals. Next is iron to sulfate. This is the solutions. Iron to sulfate. Iron to sulfate. Next, copper sulfate. Copper to sulfate. Zinc sulfate. ZnSO4. And silver nitrate. AgNO3. AgNO3. So these are the solutions. So in this, so I am taking a table like this. In this first, metal A does not react with iron to sulfate. No reaction. No reaction. But this reacts with copper to sulfate. Here displacement reaction occurs. Displacement reaction. Displacement. So next B. In this B reacts with iron sulfate. In this also displacement reaction. Displacement reactions. Here no reaction. No reaction. Next here no reaction. No reaction. No reaction. No reaction. No reaction. Displacement. Displacement. Right. Next D. No reaction. No reaction. No reaction. No reaction. No reaction. So just observe this this tabulation, and use the table above to answer the following questions about the metals A, B, C, D. So just observe these metals. So just observe this D, metal D. So when metal D cannot react with all these solutions, no reaction, no reaction, no reaction, no reaction, right? So we have four among these four metals: iron, copper, zinc, and silver. So for this question, you have to need a reactivity series. That's why I write here. Okay. So for this, the first question is like that. Which is the most reactive metal? Which is the most reactive metal? See the answer, Amma. As per reactivity series. As per reactivity series. We have see, silver, iron, and copper. Right now, among these, see, among these, this iron is most reactive. Iron is most reactive. Why? Just observe this reactivity series, ma. So iron is here. That means above the hydrogen we can observe this iron. This silver and copper. See, ma, copper and silver below side of the hydrogen. That's why this iron is most reactive among this silver and copper. Okay. Here zinc is there. One more important, that is zinc is there, but this is not reactive among these solutions. That's why this is less reactive when compared to all these. So here solutions are very important. Among these three metals, iron is most reactive metal. So first, for the first question, which is the most reactive metal? Iron is the most reactive. As per reactivity series, iron is the most reactive metal among silver, iron, and copper. Since B can displaces the iron from its sulfate, right, Mas? Here, see, B here. B is the here B can displaces the iron from the displace this B, that means B here displaces the iron from this sulfate, iron sulfate solution. Displacement reaction is occurs. That's why this B is most reactive metal. B is most reactive. For the first question, B is the right answer. B is most reactive metals. I once again, dear students, we have three metals. So silver, iron, and copper. So by using this data, we can say that iron is most reactive elements. Iron is most reactive elements. Thus, it is about these metals. Since B can displace us here, B metal can displace us the iron sulfate. Iron sulfate. In that iron sulfate, iron is displaced by B metal. That's why B is most reactive metal. This is most reactive metal. Second, what would you observe if B is added to a solution copper sulfate, copper to sulfate? See, ma'am, as we know, B is more reactive than iron. Remember? So B is more reactive iron. That's why B can displace the iron. We know that B more reactive than iron. So it will displace the copper also. See, ma'am, copper where it is? Iron here, right now. So that's why here B can displaces the iron and displaces the copper also. So copper this. So it will displaces the copper from its copper sulfate solutions. So we know that B can displaces the iron and also B can displaces the this copper sulfate both solutions. See, next question. In that 3, arrange the metals A, B, C and D in the order of decreasing reactivity. So, decreasing reactivity we have to arrange. So, we know that B is very most reactive element and C, this is the D, D metal is no reaction with all these solutions. That's why we know that D is very least reactive. B is the most reactive and D is the very least reactive. Remaining we have A and C. A and C, right now? See, B is the most reactive and D is the least reactive metal. This unable to displace us the any of the solutions. This metal D which did not displace us the any of the solutions. So copper is more reactive than silver. See, ma, copper is more reactive than silver. Just observe the reactivity series. From you observe this reactivity series, we can understand that this copper is more reactive than silver. That's why this copper is more reactive. That's why we are schema. So copper is more reactive than silver and metal A can displace us the copper. Metal A displaces the copper. See, this is the copper sulfate. A displacement reaction occurs. A reacts with copper sulfate, which can displaces the copper sulfate. Then this copper sulfate in this copper sulfate, copper is displaced by A metal. That's why B is greater than A and A is greater than C and C is greater than D. So B is most reactive and D is less reactive. This is all third question. Okay. Next is fourth question. Which gas is produced when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to a reactive metals? So metal. My fourth question. Metal plus acid, dilute acid. Dilute acid. So what are the products, ma? Salt plus hydrogen. Salt plus hydrogen gas. Right now, this is the first. Next in that, write the chemical reaction when iron reacts with H2SO4. Iron Fe reacts with H2SO4. This produces Fe3SO4 and FeSO4. Sorry, FeSO4 iron sulfate and displacement, right now. So iron, this metal reacts with this the dilute hydrochloric acid. Sorry, this is the sulfuric acid, right now. So remember, ma, iron reacts with sulfuric acid, which produces wait 1 second, ma. Yes, this iron reacts with H2SO4, it produces FeSO4 and hydrogen gas. So one more thing, one more question is there, that is last question, fifth question. What would you observe when zinc is added to a solution of iron to sulfate, zinc. So I am going to write here zinc. This reacts with which comes with solution of iron to sulfate. That is iron to sulfate is FeSO4. So just observe the zinc and iron. So zinc and iron. So that's why zinc is more reactive. Because of more reactive, zinc can replace as the iron. So ZnSO4 plus Fe. This is the reaction. Right, the chemical reaction takes place. So this is the reaction. So what would you observe when zinc is added to solution of iron to sulfate? So when zinc metal reacts with iron sulfate, which produces zinc sulfate and iron. This is the displacement reaction. Okay, this is all today's class. In the next class, we will discuss the very interesting topic. Metals reacts with the non-metals. Okay, thank you.